Former NFL defensive end and four-time All-Pro Jared Allen, he's no longer battling on the gridiron. Allen, he's taken his talents to the ice, where he is a curler. Yes, Allen and his team are competing for gold at the U.S. National Championship of Curling. The U.S. National Championships, they're going to go down at the rink at American Dream in New Jersey from January 29th to February 4th. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk some curling, yes, and we're going to do it with Jared Allen, who joins me now. Jared, how's it going, man?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. I was telling you this before we get into your journey about curling, that sometimes when you see athletes, you're like, oh, man, did they change this or in a different sport? Are they really going to like it? But you really are enjoying this. And that kind of leads me into my first question for you, because I got to ask you about your curling journey. How did you get involved in the sport? And coming from football, what has it been like competing in this sport?
Yeah, I got into curling. I took a bet from a buddy to try to make the Olympics. And, you know, after watching like Eddie the Eagle, I figured, like, let's just choose a sport we're not very good at. And at the time, we weren't very good at curling. And then as I was getting the process going of like trying to figure out team coaches, how does the curling thing even works, John Schuster goes on and wins gold, right? Miraculously wins gold. And, you know, then I look like a complete jerk saying that we're not very good at curling. And here I am going to try to make the Olympics in curling. So, but I was already too far down the rabbit hole. And, you know, so I stuck with it. And, you know, as far as, you know, there's nothing really that translates from football over except for that mindset, right? Of once you're in, I'm one of those guys, I'm an all in type of guy. And so, you know, just kind of go out and using that same mindset I have with football, right? Through preparation, through just, you know, my mentality of constantly always wanting to win, being a fierce competitor, you know, that translates. But yeah, I'm having a blast doing it. The curling community is fantastic. I think everybody, you know, is very welcoming too, because they see how much hard work I put into it. And so, yeah, we've just been going last couple of years. Last year, you know, I played in some nationals with some other teams. And then last year our team qualified, and this year our team qualified again. And so, you know, we just kind of keep plugging away, and hopefully we can we qualify for the Olympic trials. We can win that. So we're going to take it one day at a time and try to, you know, bring home a medal from nationals first.
Well, look, I am just happy that this all started from a bet. Like, I am thrilled about that for you, that all of this happened because of a bet. And that's a really cool thing right there. I got to ask you this. What has it meant to you to have this, your own team that you're on, make the U.S. National Championships? And what would it mean for you? You kind of just mentioned it, to compete at the upcoming World Championships?
It'd be insane. It'd be great. You know, we put a lot of hard work into this. I think it would show people that, you know, as cheesy and as cliche as it is, right? If you put your mind to it, you can achieve anything. I think I've achieved more, you know, than people probably thought I would in the sport. But it's been a blast. Going out there and competing, you know, like I said, you know, we were able to, our first game of last year's nationals, we were able to beat Schuster. That was my first time beating him. And so, you know, just kind of showed the improvement of where we've been at. Our team has changed a little bit over the years. As you know, I see you guys are showing last year's right now. So I'm excited. I think winning the nationals and being able to compete at Worlds would just show the evolution of you know, of what I've put into the sport.
Yeah, and you've put a lot of work in the sport. You're out there competing and loving it. And for people who are not curling fans, or they just might be intrigued by this sport that they normally wouldn't watch, why should they come out and see you and others compete at American Dream?
Oh man, it's a cool sport, right? Everybody loves it around the Olympics, right? And so, you know, it's always great to watch on TV because, you know, you got the announcers explain what's going on. Nationals is cool because it's an arena field, right? So you can sit in the stands in the stadium, you can watch what's kind of going on live. It's a fantastic, you know, fun family environment. And win or lose, you know, from our standpoint, you know, well, probably not at nationals, but at most barn fields, like if you lose, the winner still has to buy you a beer, basically to rub it in your face that they beat you. So that's fun too. But yeah, I mean, just because I think it's interesting. You'll see, like when I used to watch curling, I used to think, oh, it's like shuffleboard on ice, right? I think when you watch it live and you see the dynamic of how intricate these shots are, I mean, the angles, and I mean, you're talking about, you know, inches and centimeters, the way you hit a rock or where you light it, where you set it up. And then you have to do all that on ice. And you have these grown men running, you know, sweeping. We're going to try to go as fast as we can, sweeping, you know, on ice. So I think that's what makes it fun. It's like NASCAR, right? It's fun to see who wins, but you also want to see the crash. So, anything can happen on ice. So come on out. There's a good chance someone's going to fall.
Yeah, there is for sure. Hoping it's not you, but you're right. There's a good chance.
It's a better chance it is going to be me. I'm playing for once a year a wipeout on the ice.
Yeah, there's a chance for that. You can definitely have that. All right, Jared, while I'm here, I have to do this. We got to talk some NFL action because we're now in the divisional round of the playoffs. We got C.J. Stroud, surprising Texans. They're battling the Ravens in Baltimore. Does Lamar Jackson not only need to win this game, but does the quarterback also need to have a good playoff performance against the Texans? Is this a big pressure spot for Lamar?
I don't think so. I think Lamar's proven he can he could be at any level, right? I think he had an MVP candidate. I mean, I think obviously they're going to measure quarterbacks wins and losses and playoff wins and Super Bowls. But I think he's put the naysayers down. He's come out and he's won games with his legs. He's won games with his arms. And I think they have a great team around him. That defense is playing well too. So I don't think it's a must win for anything for him. I think, as you approach, right, each year you get in, I mean, it's a team they should beat, right? If you want to be the best, you got to beat this. You should beat this team with a rookie quarterback and a young team. But as far as his legacy goes, I don't think it's a must win for him. But again, it's one of those steps in your career and your journey that you got to beat the teams that you're supposed to beat, especially at home. And so that from that standpoint, it's big for him. But longevity wise, I don't think it's going to matter one way or the other.
All right, we'll see who comes on top in that Ravens and Texans matchup. Moving on, classic NFC matchup on Saturday features the Packers visiting the Niners. Green Bay quarterback Jordan Love, he's been very impressive towards the end of the season, and then we saw that against Dallas in the wild card round. Do the Pack have any shot at upsetting the number one seeded Niners here?
Well, I think they do. I mean, you look at like historically throughout the throughout the NFL. I mean, look at the Giants when they won their 2 Super Bowls, right, in recent years. I mean, it's that team that comes in hot, or that team that's catching fire. Sometimes that bye week is not always a good thing for you, and that's what Green Bay looks like to me right now. They look like that team that's hitting on all cylinders. They don't have a care in the world. They're literally playing with house money. No one's expecting them to go in and beat the Niners. No one's expecting them really at the beginning of the year. No one's expecting them to be in the playoffs, and here they are, and to go in and beat Dallas in a dominant fashion. I think that's the big thing. I mean, yeah, they gave up a decent amount of points, kind of became a little bit of a horse race there at the end. But I think for the most part, they dominated that game. And the Niners, they better be on top of their game because Green Bay is playing loose right now.
Yeah, don't sleep on the Pack. We'll see if they can pull off the upset there. Now on Sunday, things kick off with the Bucs and the Lions in Detroit. I'm not sure, Jared, that anyone had either of these teams as going with a chance to go to the NFC Championship at the start of the season, but both teams, they have a chance to get there now. Do you like the Lions to keep the good vibes going at home, or can Baker Mayfield in Tampa spoil the party? What do you say?
It's hard for me to even, to talk positively about any NFC North team, right? I mean, you're making me here talk about the Packers, and now I got to compliment the Lions. It's still hard for me to believe that the Lions are this good, because when we played them, they were just the doormat of the NFL. I mean, I was there with the 0-16. I wasn't there. I was in Minnesota. I played against them. But yeah, I mean Dan Campbell's done a fantastic job, and I think Detroit, one of the cities that has just been notoriously let down with their football team. They're loving this. They deserve it. They're going to be rocking. So yeah, I got to say, I think the Lions, really are showing that they're the real deal, especially at home. I think that crowd's going to be rocking. I think Dan Campbell's done a great job of changing the culture and making these guys believe, and not only them, but making the fans believe that they have a legit chance. And so to be in the divisional round, one step away from an NFC Championship game, you got to know that they're going to be ready to play.
I want to say this. One, I think your dogs agree with you in the background there. And I also have to say, I love that you're keeping it Minnesota Vikings vibes all the way. You're like, no, I'm not showing any love to these NFC North teams. I like it. I like the energy, Jared.
It's tough. Yeah, I'm like, just watching them. I'm like, oh, my goodness. But, you got to give respects too. They've done a good job. But at the end of the day, I might smile a little bit if they get upset.
Understood. All understood. On Sunday night, Jared, we've got Chiefs and Bills. I think this is one of the big matchups that everybody's looking forward to this weekend. First time that we're going to see Patrick Mahomes in a white jersey in the playoffs. Do you like the defending Super Bowl champs on the road, or do you think the Bills can knock off their playoff rivals here?
See, again, this is always a tough one for me, right? Drafted by the Chiefs. I grew up a Bills fan. My coaching, my last coaching staff in Carolina, McDermott, he's up there with the Bills. The Bills are one of those teams. Again, they're playing insanely good right now, especially to get into the into the playoffs the way they do with a dominant win over Miami and a dominant win over the Steelers. To be honest, I don't know. I mean, the Chiefs have kind of been up and down. It's hard for me to go against Mahomes and what they've been able to do over the years. I mean, the Chiefs have proven to answer the call, to answer the bell every single time. But I honestly think this is the year that Josh Allen and the Bills knock them off and take it in. I mean, just the frigid weather. I mean, the way they're playing. I mean, they're just they're kind of in a groove right now, and I think they got a chip on their shoulder. And I think this might be the year for them. So.
All right, Bills, they have been hot. They've been playing good football. We'll see if they can knock off the Chiefs. Last thing for me here, Jared, I know we've yet to see the divisional round shake out, but as of right now, who do you like to win it all and be victorious in Super Bowl 58?
Oh, goodness. I can't say Niners Ravens because, then I'm just going right in there and debacle. You know what I'm saying? No, to win it all, I honestly think I want to say it's probably going to be, I don't really have a gut feeling one way or the other, but who's going to win it all? Oh, man, choose out of these teams. I probably got to go with the Bills. I think the Bills have the ability to run the table and get through. Although, if they have to go to Baltimore to play, that'll be very tough for them. But I think the Bills have the ability to run through the table. I just don't trust in the Niners, what they do. You saw when they went in their dip this year. I mean, it was pretty bad, right? Obviously they're playing good ball right now, but they're streaky and unless they're firing all cylinders, they're obviously beatable. They're fallible like everybody in the NFL is. But like I said, I think the hot team right now is definitely the Bills. I think it's probably the AFC's, year.
All right, Bills Mafia, they're going to be happy with Jared Allen picking them to win it all. We'll see how it all shakes out. You can see Jared Allen, the former great defensive end, 4-time All-Pro, great player, now curling and going for a U.S. National Championship. You can check him out and his team at American Dream. Get tickets to see that at americandream.com. Jared, it was great to talk curling with you. Also great to talk football with you. We'll see how this all shakes out, and I'll see you at American Dream. I'm going to come out and see you play.
I love it. I appreciate it. And, we'll be there for a few days. So come on, check it out.
No problem. Thank you, Jared. Appreciate you, man.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.